Welcome back to Han Took Shots First. This week we're discussing The Acolyte, Episode 7, Choice. I'm Derrick.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Whitney.
I don't know. Cheers.
Cheers.
You have a choice.
So, I think Disney's ruining Star Wars, guys.
I think so too.
Are they?
Yeah, they put paper in this episode. Disney is fucking ruining Star Wars.
Well, how else is a child supposed to draw?
Tablets.
Well, I think
George Lucas just always said there's no paper in Star Wars.
But this is 100 years before such and such, and this mine that these witches are living in is from well before that.
Yeah.
So I think this is just paper they found there.
You know what? What if it is like microfibers that is a tablet? It's a flimsy piece of screen that she can wipe and clear away. I'm back on.
So
I got myself back in there.
we did get one answer on this episode.
Let's get to the tail of the tape.
The behind the scenes stuff, we talked about most of these people already. This one's directed by Kogo Nada again, who directed the flashback episode, which name escapes me, but it's fine. Written, of course, by Leslie Headland. And we have Charmaine de Great. It's a great name.
It's like, did you give yourself that name, didn't you?
And Jasmine Florney coming back. And then another new writer that we haven't seen before, Jen Richards. The only thing I saw on her writing credits was something called Her Story. So, woke or whatever.
Yeah, very woke.
Me too.
Yeah, not familiar with it.
Yeah, we're not going to harp on the internet this episode. We're here to talk about Star Wars, not Star Wars lovers / haters.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So I really don't care. And I think people are definitely not allowed to enjoy it. There's things not to like. There's a fucking scene in here with Soul on the speeder bike that I think looked awful.
Terrible.
All the speeder, that, and then when Torben's on it toward the later part, too, it looks like shit.
Which made me wonder why are we showing it so long? Like, I get you need to show them on a speeder bike, but they're like focusing. They're proud of this shot.
Yeah.
But so,
And, that probably falls into the same problem as all the Marvel movies that
previs.
like the effects have been looking worse and worse over the movies, and it's because they're doing more and more stuff, and they have these teams that they're not giving time to do it. They're like, you have all this work to do. Basically, you have to do this whole movie, because if you ever see the way they shoot all this stuff, yeah, there might be plants and stuff there, but it's like, we need to add in all these trees, and you need to change the sky, and you need to do this and that. They're doing 1,000 effects, and they're not giving them any time, and they're also not paying them.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, if you watch early Marvel movies, they look better than later Marvel movies.
It's a strange phenomenon. Like, they should be getting better. Technology should be moving forward.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think they ever did, but the visual effects artists were talking about going on strike too.
Yeah.
Because they don't get paid.
I mean, they definitely should, from what you just told me.
Yeah,
like,
they're treated like indentured servants, or like those Korean animators that used to do every cartoon in the 90s.
mm-hmm.
They just like ship it over there and be like, now work.
Yeah. Yeah. America's not communist. We just have communist countries do our work for us.
Yep.
We don't want to pay people.
That's not capitalism.
But this is another flashback episode. This tells us the other part of the story, the stuff we didn't see.
This is what we've been talking about getting.
Yeah.
This is the second point of view.
And it's less twisted than we considered it might get.
Yeah. I thought it was a little bit more straightforward. That's not a complaint. That's just, we have theories and reaching brains, like, ooh, what if this happened? We were right about some things. Kilnaka definitely got possessed, and that's probably why that witch shit lives in his head.
Yeah, and like we don't know, because we never see Kirill again.
Yeah.
But Kirill and Anastasia both do this thing where they turn into like magical clouds.
Wraiths. I was like, it's very wraith.
Yeah, very
wraith. I didn't even think of that.
It's black smoke rising.
Yeah.
Well, they get killed.
But when Kirill does it and possesses Kilnaka towards the end of this, she also has the help of the witches we see, but like,
yes,
when Endara pushes her out, we don't ever see her again. So maybe she didn't get pushed out. Maybe she's still in there, and that's why he's fucked up.
Could be. I would like it more if she's alive, because like, I just want to see. I like everything this actress is bringing to the table, and she's fight me.
Yeah.
She's
pissed.
Yeah,
But
she's also ready to be pissed.
Yeah. So I mean, we basically saw this episode, so we're just filling in the blanks now. We saw this before.
Yeah.
I mean. So it's Brendock again, 16 years earlier.
It's from the Jedi's point of view.
Yeah. So they're not there looking for this. Because that's kind of how we feel when we see the first one. It's like they know these people are here. And
this
stuff.
is thanks to a hyperspace disaster.
Yeah,
this is supposed to be a lifeless system, is what they say, and all the other it was labeled lifeless system. Now this planet is teeming with plant life, and at least those jellyfish butterfly things. That we saw, and then they're shocked to find people. But I think it's Soul explaining it to Torben. He's like, this could happen because of a vergence in the Force.
Yeah.
Which we've seen before and talked about. I think I've talked about like how that hides Yoda on Dagobah.
Yeah.
It's got to be it's an impactful battle, a dark stain, a really light moment. There's many things it can be.
Yeah, and there was clearly a civilization here before, because beside the mine that the witches are living in, we see artifacts all over. The place.
The Jedi are in ruins.
Yeah.
Like they're standing in ruins when they're talking about this.
There's a funny moment in there, and it's a throwback to Episode 4. But when Kelnaka is cooking for all the Jedi, and Torben says he's not hungry, and Dara's like, it's unwise to insult a Jedi or a Wookiee's cooking, and it just made me think of, you don't want to beat a Wookiee. I keep wanting to say Jedi.
Yeah.
You don't want to beat a Wookiee at chess.
Well, how come no one's afraid of losing to a droid? Droids don't rip your arms off.
Nope.
Still haven't seen. I mean, I guess in Solo we saw
off screen
an arm get thrown at someone or something, but
no, we know that Chewie does it.
Yeah, he does.
They're on the elevator. It's just that it happens just off screen.
Oh, that's right. He's holding the arm.
They're together.
Isn't it both of the arms?
Yeah. It focuses on Solo, and then when it cuts back to the wide shot, he's got both. So, I mean, not only Wookiees do it, we know Chewie do it.
Chewie be doing
and
things.
I guess these are all PG to PG-13, so they can't show you ripping off arms.
Yeah, it's a fine way to do it.
Yeah. I want to see a Wookiee rip off arms.
We got to go to like fucking some nerd fan fiction for that.
One of these comic books has it, like pre-Disney probably.
Yeah.
There's got to be a Wookiee ripping off someone's arms.
Definitely, I'll find.
Todd
that for
McFarlane
you.
drew it, so there's just blood everywhere.
Frank Miller's fucking just arm rips.
But they're there looking for the virgins. Torben's been complaining. That's why they're talking about it, because he's like, dude, what the fuck?
I just
want to
go to Coruscant.
He shouldn't be a Jedi.
Flashes of Anakin.
Yes.
He
shouldn't
I don't want to be here.
Yeah, he shouldn't be a Padawan or a Jedi.
I hate grass. It gets everywhere. It gets on everything.
It itches.
My light robes keep getting stains on them. We need to get darker robes.
We're black.
We've been here for 6 weeks.
And Dara also
not that fucking long, especially because I've seen what you guys camp in. They have awesome campsite stuff. Like I was looking at their trailer. It's this thing like folds out of itself. Like you're set, dude.
Yeah.
You ain't sleeping on the fucking rocks. You don't have a tent.
You are
like,
glamping.
Yeah, you are glamping. Go sleep on the ship and shut up.
But Indara says something to Soul about, like, basically Soul isn't ready for a Padawan at this point, which is something that probably leads to Osha's issues, because she's talking about Torben and stuff, and she's like, that's why I have a Padawan and you don't.
Yeah.
He's still very emotional, and I guess that's kind of his running theme.
He has it out for Osha specifically to be his Padawan. Like, he is very emotionally invested in her early. I think the universe wants me to find her. I think it's her destiny for her to be my Padawan.
Yeah, their M's were definitely talking to each other.
Yeah.
And we don't know anything about his history, so maybe it's a similar, because he says he was taken to the Jedi very young. But maybe
they all
it's
are
a similar
supposed to be.
situation for him, though. Maybe he's looking for a connection because he was taken away from his family.
Yeah.
Maybe they were all killed. I don't think they talk about that.
What if Kamir is his twin?
I like it, but no.
But yeah,
I like the thought, though. I appreciate you theorizing.
We see all this stuff happening from Soul's point of view. He's watching the conversation by the bantha tree. What the fuck's it called?
Bunta.
Banthas are not trees.
Yeah, bantha. That's like saying the cow tree.
Isn't that the blue milk stuff?
The bantha milk, yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote this note for myself, but like they're talking about the Vergence and everything, and they do touch on this later. But right here, I was like, maybe that's what caused this. Like what we're suspecting is a dyad in the Force, which is these two people who are tied together, right?
Then they talk about something else, though. They talk about a Vergence could have the power to split one consciousness. One person in two consciousness.
Yeah, which is kind of, and I think it all ties to, that's what Coril was afraid of them finding out, not necessarily like the artificial insemination thing that we were talking about. Like
she found out
Anakin.
right away. She knew right away they would find out. She's like, dude, if they test their blood, they're going to know that we artificially created
Yeah,
them.
because they test their midichlorians. which we saw in that flashback episode. And their M count is very high, but they also have identical
DNA,
Voltrons.
Basically. Yeah, I just say DNA is the word I would use.
Well, wait, I don't remember what word Torben used. It wasn't Voltron.
It was close to symbiote.
Yeah.
Symbions. That's
Symbions.
So like Indara was like, well, they're identical twins. And he's like, no, even identical twins have their own makeup.
And that's
their
true
own genetic
in our
makeup.
That's true in our world.
Yes,
right?
it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
You'd be really close to the same DNA, but not exact.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I like that part.
I like Soul free climbing into this fortress.
Yeah, that was
like
dope.
he looks up this wall and it's taller than what's the ice
Mount
wall
Everest?
in fucking
the
Game of
wall.
Thrones? Just the wall.
Yeah.
Like it's taller than that wall.
It's
and
like
he just looks
fucking-
at it
what
and
is
he's like,
it?
I got this.
Tenochtitlan, one of these big fucking giant step pyramids.
This is like the beginning of Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah, he's because I think he tried to reach Indara and she never got back to him. So he's just like, I got this. I'm gonna go snooping. Very Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Death Star.
Yeah.
Little twinkle toes.
And he's talking, he tells her about what he saw because he sees all the stuff happening inside the training and all that stuff. That's the sound that they heard in that flashback episode that made Kirill go and investigate was Soul leaving. But I thought it was cool looking when he's telling Indara, like, there's something going on tonight. She looks up at the sky. This must be important for their ascension thing. But there's the 2 moons, and there's like a streak going across. That's like maybe like a meteor or something.
It could be that, or it could be some sort of celestial
being
disturbance, because that's why he couldn't get a message out.
Okay.
And in the episode before, he's trying to, like, we can't read you, and it sounds like he didn't get any of his message out because he says my whole team got wiped out.
I didn't even think about that because he's trying to call Indara and can't get through. But later on / earlier in the series, when he's trying to call the Jedi, he can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's something, and it could be part of the hyperspace fucking disaster. It could be. But it could also be something celestial.
But he's masking his connection that he's already formed as like I'm just worried about the girl's safety.
He's way too invested for no reason. Like, I mean, Indara's right. Almost this entire thing. I thought she was going to be much more of a bad guy, but she's the one. She's like, don't fucking go over there. Let's call the council. Council says no.
Let's leave him alone.
We got to go, dude. Sorry. No, not go. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to leave him alone and continue our mission. Like, we're here. This is what we do. And Soul is just fucking.
Nope, I'm doing my own thing.
He's feeling it.
The midichlorian made him do it.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
May locks down the fortress when they go in there. Like she breaks the control panel.
Kirill's fucking firing her up too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's like, "You're mad? Huh? You're mad?
Yeah.
Why don't you fucking get your sister to not leave then if you're so fucking mad?"
And she's getting all the witches
she
riled
is
up
egging
too.
them
Yeah.
on.
And at the
Arm
same
yourselves,
time,
everybody get fucking ready.
like all the ones out in the courtyard. On the inside, Anastasia trying to calm everybody down. She's like, because they're telling her you can't let them leave, and she's like, dude, like if that's what she wants. That's what she wants. I'm not here to look. I am not going to tell my 8-year-old what to do with her life.
Well, another little, I don't know, not maybe mystery. Yeah, mystery is like what they were planning on doing with the girls, because we hear
Sacrifice.
May tell Indara and Soul, like, well, Mama always says, everyone's got to walk through the path of fair. Mama always said everyone has to sacrifice. Like, I don't remember what it was exactly, but everyone must sacrifice for the purpose.
Yeah. I jumped ahead because before that is when Kelnaka does the hacking. They go, they go in and and when she says slice it, I was like, oh, he's gonna Star Wars that door.
I had popcorn in my mouth. I was gonna be like, slicing's not what you think.
Because slicing is hacking.
A hacker is called a slicer.
Okay. But yeah, because this is when they hack in and they see they interrupt the ascension and all that happens, because we have that scene with Torben, which is important. So before we even saw in the first or the second episode when we saw Torben's eyes go black and everything,
then on his knees.
Before that, Anastasia was in his mind that whole time already.
For what would seem like a while.
Yeah.
It's not. In his mind it is. Because, I mean, she's just fucking, she's fantastic. This actress is owning this.
She doesn't really get much to do in that
beautiful.
other episode, but here she's
shining.
Tearing it up. And I like the implication of what she's saying without them getting too into it, because it's Star Wars and there's no such thing as sex. But she's like telling him, like, you have urges that you suppress, but then she's like, you want to go home, right? And then she gets into his face though, and she's like, I'd let you do anything you want. I wouldn't stop you. You know? And so it's very much like a sexual flirtation thing, because he's a Padawan who's not trained fully yet, and he's still susceptible to his urges.
Everyone should be susceptible to her.
Yes.
Holy shit.
But like that's the vibe I got. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's what they're going for.
I also kind of think it's her bringing that to the role without trying to. She's
just oozing sex.
Yeah, she's just gorgeous oozing sex. But I did get a little bit of that. But I think the urges she's speaking of is like he wants glory because he came. She even makes sure she says you came from poor people. Like you were raised on whatever from fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And now here you have this power. So she probably feels like I'd like to do something great because he even says about the mission, it would be nice to know we're doing something magnificent or meaningful.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do fucking remedial work. He I want glory, dude.
Yeah, I do get that.
So yes, there is probably a sexual undertone, but I think it's more like you don't want to be a cold, calculating Jedi. We're witches, dude. We do whatever the fuck we
we dance
me,
naked.
yeah, like you want to come to a naked dance party?
I've seen the witch.
We got
I know how it works. They all get naked and float.
Yeah.
We have the testing stuff again from the Jedi's point of view, and Indara, like they're doing this test, but Indara's not taking the testing seriously. She says right off the bat, she's like, "This can't be. We can't take them. They're too old."
Yeah.
So that touches on that too, because we didn't really talk about that during 2, because we all said that. We're like, well, they're the same age as Anakin. Why are they testing them?
The Jedi would not want to do this. It's a staunch rule.
Yeah. Osha does want to go. We've seen that from the beginning, but Andara's telling Sol, like, don't confuse what you want with what she wants, which is the same thing she said earlier about Torben. Like, well, he thinks this and this. It's like, no, that's what you think.
Yeah, those are your insecurities.
Yeah. Play a drinking game for this episode. Take a drink every time someone says Mama, Osha, or May.
Oh, Mama.
Because every time May or Osha talks, they're like, well, Mama said this, Mama said that. Where's Mama?
The scene where
they're just screaming at each other.
Anastasia gets killed. I mean, all we hear is her yelling "Mama."
Yeah,
like "Mama, Mama," and 6 times in a row.
And then the walkways, Osha, May, Osha, Osha,
Mama, for good measure, Mama.
All right, I can't take a shot every time, guys. They're saying it a lot. I'm just gonna start swigging.
Can you hit shots? Can you hit pause and I can just chug for like 30 seconds? I've missed so many, dude.
Like May says something, or Osha says something about how Mama said crocodiles are always ornery. No, wait, she says,
you know what? Mama's wrong again, folks.
Mama said everyone must walk through fear and be sacrificed to fulfill their destiny. And that's where like Sol gives Indara a look like, dude, we got to get these kids out of here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I started talking about that. Like, so, and then this argument with the Coven and Anastasia, like they keep saying like, dude, you're going to sacrifice our future just so she can have her little wish. What were they going to do with these two?
Well, they're supposed to lead, is what Osha or May says.
But I almost think they were going to take the bodies over, is how I feel. Now we have some form of eternal life. We like these leaders, Anastasia and Corell, maybe. They can take over one of each daughter's bodies. Because and I'm reaching, but when we're about to get to the courtyard confrontation, right?
Yeah.
Corell's fucking fired up and wants to just start fighting. Anastasia is not about it, but then something happens, the explosion maybe, and she goes full Wraith form. So does fucking May. Well,
yes, May does go.
May starts getting all the Wraith tendrils. So I was like, oh, are they gonna fucking combine bodies?
Yeah, and it's not. There might be the explosion, but what happens? The explosion might be what starts it because Corell pulls out her like spear,
and
she's ready to fight.
Pike,
and Torben pulls out his lightsaber, so they're going to start fighting, and that's where May does that. So we don't know yet that that's like a control thing that they can do. So that's why I was thinking like maybe she's about to do this, but it's like to push them apart or just to get big and scary and be like, like the genie in fucking Aladdin, like when Jafar becomes a genie, and he's gonna get big and scary and tell people
infinite cosmic power.
But yeah, because the reason they went back, even though Indara said no, is because Torben's like, wait, they're the reason for the virgin stuff. Let's get them so we can get the fuck out of here.
Evidence. I want to go home.
Yeah.
Oh, because I don't think we wrapped up the final thing when Mama was in his brain. She's like, you want to go back to Coruscant? All right, you just listen to me, kneel, and that's when we get to the part that we see. So like, I think she's manipulating him to
go home.
Part of this. Is this part of this her plan though? Like she just didn't expect to get killed? I don't know. Like I
I mean, because she didn't expect to get killed. No one ever does.
Yeah. Well,
most people don't. People who kill themselves do.
I never saw it coming.
And you see the conflict between Anasea and Coril, because Anasea is like, I told you we can't use violence. It's only going to make things worse, basically.
And I told you I'll die before the Jedi take my babies.
Yeah. So.
Because she carried them. We did learn that in episode 1. That Coril, right?
Yeah.
Coril carried them, but Anasea made them.
Yeah, or the Coven made them.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm not. I don't think we're gonna get it, but I'm excited to hear more about this, whether it be from season 2 or another show or another property touching on it.
Yeah.
Or another medium, rather.
Yeah, there'd probably be a comic book or something, or there already is.
No, not yet. They're not doing anything to give away those fucking stories.
But we see what happens with the fire, because we see that May tries to put out the fire that she started.
Yeah, yeah. From this point of view, we see that she wasn't actually, because the first one, she just looks evil.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, fucking burn, bitch. This one, she's like, oh no, mama.
Because Coril tells her, like, use your anger. So like, it's like a dark side thing. Use your anger; it'll fuel you. You know. So she's losing her shit. But when she uses this little like hyper fuel lamp thing, whatever it is that we see, we didn't really talk about in the other one, because she just said she lit it on fire, but it's got like some kind of fuel inside of it, and when it breaks, that spreads it onto the wall and into the wall, and
we see it start to light up the wires. I mean, we talk about this place was old.
Yeah.
So I mean, I misspoke and said there's no way it started both, like all of this, but now we see it. It went down. It went through the walls. Through.
Yeah, and this is an old mining thing, is what they say in this episode. So who knows what's in the pipes and that kind of stuff, you know?
Jack had asked what we thought was being mined.
Yeah, what if it's cortosis?
Could be.
We don't know. That's just a thing that's in my brain.
Something flammable is there, but that doesn't mean that's what they're mining. It could be what they're using to mine.
Cortosis is very fucking dangerous if it's not refined.
That's right. You said that.
So it's a possibility.
And with that big of an explosion.
Could be, but I love this part coming up, dude, because now you have Torben and Sol, and you hear Coral's like, you shouldn't have brought him. It's like,
my mind is fortified.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. My mind's fortified. Not him. And then she fucking wraiths out, and it's fucking Kilnaka, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, we get to see a
Wookiee
We get
fight.
to see a Wookiee.
Well, because
there was a Wookiee fight.
I was a little disappointed we didn't get to see Kilnaka do his fucking like, was it strategic insertion here, because Endara's like, I can't land. You think if I get in there close enough, you can jump?
I wanted to see this.
I wanted
Can
to
you
see
make
him
the jump?
jump
I wanted
out.
to see that little here's the move. You jump from as high up as you want. You do a force push right before you drop.
Yeah,
we've seen it in cartoons. Like that's a thing Jedis do.
I mean, he's doing the big jumps, which is using the force. So, because he does it during this battle. But dude, this battle is dope.
Yeah, I like this.
He's rocking people.
You know who holds pretty well is Torben.
Yeah, well, we see
for
Torben
fighting
a fucking
fighting
Wookiee.
off those arrows too.
Because right before he's blocking all those arrows.
Yeah,
and he's flinging that lightsaber around. So
yeah, I like it. He's better than I thought he would be.
And there's that
he's
moment
not as
right
good as
before.
Jekka.
No, Jekkie. No,
Jekkie.
He's not. Jekkie was the best of us.
There's that moment right before the Wookiee fight where Coril is trying to fight Sol, and he refuses to fight because he did stab Anasea. I don't think we said that.
Oh yeah, we did not.
Because he doesn't know what's going on. She turned into Wraith form, and he's like, these two are about to fight. It's all slow motion, so this happens like in an instant. These two are about to fight. She's turning into a super ghost,
but
May is starting to disappear, which I think is what freaks him out.
So. Unlike when Coril does it, Anasea, when she turns Wraith, she had a big blue, ethereal like pulse heart kind of thing, and that's what gets stabbed. When Coril goes away, she's just fucking black smoke. So I don't know.
But we do see it in slow motion for the Anasea one. Coril's happens in full speed, so maybe it's something that we're just seeing that instant of. Or
very true.
Maybe it's the difference between possessing someone and doing whatever Anasea was going to do. Maybe that's not what wasn't her plan.
Yeah.
You know, who knows?
Oh, and while she's possessing Kilnaka, she's getting help from all the witches that, not the bow and arrow ones, but the ones that were.
Well, yeah, because
in the room,
the bow and arrow ones are all gone because
Torben they kind of
like,
black vapored too.
Where is everybody?
Yeah.
And so I think they all just moved into that room to all hold hands and chant, and all their eyes are blacked out. And
it's the power of two, but a bunch.
Yeah.
Power of too many.
But yeah, like I said, this fight's awesome. There's a great, I thought it was really cool when Kilnaka takes like a killing swing at Sol, but he jumps I mean, higher, like 10 feet in the air, however fucking tall a Wookiee.
Talking
I
about
know
my
exactly
butthole.
which one you're talking about. That was a great fight, and they slowed it down just enough. They didn't matrix it.
Yeah.
You know, but like they made sure that you saw the work they did.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an unfair fight for both of them because you've got Wookiee strength with
But you
Jedi
also
power.
can't kill.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's tough. It's a tougher fight when Kilnaka is trying to kill. He's not trying. The
He's being
possession
forced to
is
kill
trying
you.
to kill you. So you have to be defense only.
And this is where Torben gets his eye fucked up, which we figured we were going to see in the flashback,
Yeah.
right? Because Kilnaka smashes his fucking head into a wall.
And then in comes
Ow.
Indara.
And Dara's
Like,
kind of badass, dude.
little double flip combo thing, lands on Kilnaka, and then slams him down on the ground.
Kind of like Princess Bride, right? With the Dread Pirate Roberts jumping up on Andre the Giant's shoulders and choking him out.
Except this one works a little bit better, a little bit faster, because they both work.
This is why the witches die. She pushes them out. Whatever this connection is, maybe they're connected to Coril and something happens with that, but that's when they all just drop dead.
Yeah,
So they
all
aren't
these
dead on
people are
purpose.
No, and we also knew that they weren't scorched. Like, they weren't lightsabered. They weren't fired. You know, burnt is another word for fired.
So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't intentional. I mean, that doesn't make it any better that you killed
Well, we
her
don't
entire
know. Maybe we
family.
don't know what happened inside that fucking head.
Yeah.
It could have been her fighting all of them like, you're all fucking dead.
Yeah.
I'm in Dara, motherfucker.
And we see the other point of view of the platform thing, like I was talking about earlier, with May and Osha just yelling each other's names back and forth.
And reaching, like,
someone jump.
seriously.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to yell and reach out. Someone make the jump.
May's the stronger with the force, or more active with it. Do a force pull, force push, something. Get you there or her to you.
Yeah, but what we didn't see that time was that Sol is off screen holding up both platforms, and he knows that he's about to lose it. He needs to save someone.
Talk about your classic Oshi's choice.
So he saves Osha.
Yeah, he lets May drop. So that's
Because he feels
fucked up,
nothing
too.
for May.
Well, I think he cared for both of them at first. He says Osha, but he like I said, the thing with the Anasaya turning into the Wraith thing, it was once May started changing that he did something. So I think he's concerned for both of them.
She has a dark magic mark, so he's like, I don't care about you anymore.
Yeah, but he knows Osha's the one that wants to be a Jedi. And also Anasaya told him, I was going to let her go with you when he killed her.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also because if they are a split, like they said, there's a light side and a dark side.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of theorized that they're very yin and yang.
Very.
But now we get more, like, I think that's why he feels something for her. You know, maybe he felt a little bit for May because he's got a little darkness to him. Sol definitely has darkness to him.
Yeah.
Go back and watch that fight with fucking Khmer.
Woo.
He taps in a little bit there.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the end. And Dara is the one who comes up with the idea to lie to the council. She's like, dude, you already put Osha through so much. We can't have you taken away from her too, because now she'll that's it. You've ruined this girl's
You want
life.
a Sith? That's how you get a Sith.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how that all ends. That's pretty much that.
Yeah. Good flashback episode. It gave me a lot of what I wanted. The questions I still have are ones that they weren't going to answer this one anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
the
like
ones with
what the
Khmer.
fuck does Khmer have to do with any of this?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean-
I wasn't expecting to see Khmer in the background, like, you know, twiddling his little fingers.
And last time we talked about the lightsaber marks on his back, but we all failed to notice on that watch that they look like whip marks.
Yep.
And they went through the trouble to make sure we saw a whip.
Yeah.
Lightsaber whip.
So he's connected to Vernestra somehow.
I've theorized that she just was done, like he wanted to do something maybe not Jedi like, whether it be tap into a little dark side magic, or we got to go help those people. And she's like, no, because they're not aligned with the Senate, so we don't actually need to help them. But either way, she
I could
tossed
see
him
that
out.
a lot.
Maybe she thinks she killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, she's old, and as we've seen, the older you get, the more tied up in these bullshit politics you get in real life and in Star Wars.
What if she recognized? Because you remember when she saw the holotape, she's like, "Well, that person was trained by a Jedi. I can tell that." She recognized Khmer's moves.
Okay.
Oh.
She's like, "Oh, I know exactly who's training him, but I'm not telling you guys.
Yeah.
That'll out me."
'Cause I got
Like,
my
I
own
trained
secrets
him.
to keep.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, so I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it gave us the answers we've been waiting too long for.
Yes.
Seriously. Thanks
It gave us answers we were waiting for.
Thank
it
you
gave
for
us
the complete meal.
Yeah. And it gave us delightful lightsaber rings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, all around a win for an episode for me. Outside
And-
of fucking stupid-looking speeder bikes I can ignore.
And we got to see a Wookiee with a lightsaber using it.
Finally.
Dude, he was fucking those dudes up.
Yeah,
Like,
he
if those were
was.
real swords, he would have cut their swords in half.
Yeah.
And you were
Yeah.
right. Torben was holding that like
As much as he could, because he knew, he's like, if I let go, I am dead.
there was
I
that
am
one
fucking
block.
cut in half.
Yeah.
So, as we've been doing,
I'm excited for next week. I
Yep.
think I might start earlier and start from 1 and then 6 o'clock.
Not the worst idea, dude. Is this because it's so quick. It would be so quick.
I mean, this is one of the longest episodes, and it's on Disney Plus. It says 44 minutes, but we figured out it's about
34.
35, 36
Yeah,
maybe, because
if
the
you-
flashback or the previously on, and then the 5.5 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So it'd be an easy watch. Yeah, I'm still excited. I mean, how could I not be for the finale?
Yeah.
But I was also very excited for this one.
Yeah.
Like all day yesterday and even before, I was like, man, I'm excited for Tuesday.
I am.
I'm
Yeah.
excited
I
for
was
some
I was
Acolyte.
excited, but also dreading, because I was like, I swear to God, if we don't get that flashback final, like this explanation
Yeah.
until the last episode.
Because what was the episode before ends on, I've been waiting 16 years to think of what to tell you. It's like,
Yeah, so have I. I've been waiting 16
yeah,
years to hear this
oh,
story.
That was 16 years ago.
But yeah, obviously, I'm still excited for next week too.
I'm still in excite.
Yep. So that's next week for us, but in just a couple minutes for you, dear listeners.
Hold that, Spotchka.
Have we got a podcast for you?
Bad movies, worst people.
I mean, look, you like getting a couple beers in you, watching a bad movie, and yucking it up with your friends. That's what we're doing. We have microphones.
We have great impersonations. We have bad impersonations.
I think it might be one of the best podcasts I've ever heard.
It's the best podcast I've ever heard, fellas, and I ain't lying through my giant teeth.
There's a sample.
Yes.
You can find us anywhere. Badmoviesworstpeople.com. Come check us out.
If you don't follow us, we will follow you home.
All right, we're back again for episode 8 of The Acolyte, titled Acolyte. I'm Derrick.
I'm Jack.
I'm Whitney.
And I'm just a guy they found in a Home Depot parking lot.
Cheers.
Cheers.
McClunky.
I'm out of Star Wars cheerses.
You can always go with McClunky.
McClunky! Voodoo!
Ooh, I like that.
Just yell voodoo.
Well, no,
Poutine-
technically, I'm the
poutine.
whale. You called me the whale on one of the other episodes. You said he's our biggest fan. and
I
then-
said you were our biggest
Right,
fan.
and then
"Did
he's
you
like,
just
the
call
well?"
him the
I
whale?"
said, are you calling Hector fat?
Hey, man.
I never said you were fat.
You ever have Mexican food?
Shut it.
That is the correct response to that question.
I found a soundboard.
I got excited and I squealed like R2.
All right.
All right, guys,
so-
we're back. This is the final episode of The Acolyte. We have our friend Hector, loyal listener, podcaster extraordinaire. I think this is the first time he's ever been on one.
Yep.
I think he lied to me about his Star Wars knowledge because he's like, I don't know much except for this and this and this. I played this game. And I watched this movie.
I was like, you already know more than me,
yeah,
dude.
I think you are probably above where. Well, maybe not now. I've better.
don't know.
I have taken Whitney under my wing, made her my acolyte,
Okay.
so I can destroy the librarian that I go to. Have to check out these books. That's how we have to do it, right?
That's right.
Did you figure out whether she has a twin that she thought might have died but didn't?
Well, that's
No,
where the
I-
thumb came from.
Oh, that's right. She has the evil thumb, so
I
watch
have
out.
the evil thumb.
Yeah.
Speaking of witches,
I have an evil thumb drive.
Ooh.
it's just got really dark porn on it.
No, like literally, like really dark. You
Like
can't-
it's not well lit.
Yeah, like poorly lit. It's actually very jolly porn.
It's just a bunch of women in the nature dancing around a fire naked.
I can get with that.
Now I just want to watch The Witch. Every time we do this, I just want to watch other movies,
I
even though
wanna
I like what
I
we're
wanna
watching.
start recording the things that he says, and then we're gonna go back in a month and be like, "Did you watch that?
No, we
that?
never do.
Did you watch this one?
That'd be
because
a
you
nice
won't
little like
let me.
YouTube segment.
Don't
Did
fucking
Derrick
lie.
watch it?
Yeah.
We were talking about RoboCop on something we recorded, whether it was this or Bad Movies Worst People. I don't know. And I was like, I want to watch RoboCop.
Oh, it was bad.
And
It was,
And you
it
know
was
what?
last episode of Bad Movies Worst People that we released. It came from outer space. You mentioned RoboCop, Birdcage, and They Live.
Okay, and
We're
we
all
didn't watch
three
and
any
Twilight
of them.
Zone.
And You always mention Twilight Zone.
But I wanted to watch
you
RoboCop.
find
She
me
wanted
an
to watch
episode
Charmed.
you don't talk about Twilight Zone.
So what's your thing with Pip?
Oh.
Pip is the worst droid, dude. He's a pocket toy.
He hates
I'm
Pip.
trying to say that clean.
It's OSHA's pocket pussy. Is what
He's just like, he's not a droid because he can't get around on his own. I think a droid needs to be able to be self-sufficient to a degree.
I don't know, man. That trash can droid from episode 4 broke down right away. He couldn't get around on his own. You're saying he's no longer a droid?
Wait.
Your phone is a droid.
And
it cannot move on its own.
It's an Android, not a... No!
You remember those phones when they first came out with the Android operating system that were just called Droid?
Yeah.
Those were droids.
How much
that
did you
old.
hate that?
It's fine for this. It's not fine for Star Wars. I think a droid, dude. I think of R2-D2. I think of C-3PO. I think of people that save and narrate movies.
I see what you're saying. Pip is basically one of our cell phones that can also jizz on you.
Yeah. He's an iDroid.
This episode was directed by Hanel M. Culpepper.
Wanna try that
This
again?
is someone that's directed on this before.
Yes, because
Yeah.
this is the person
Cobblepot?
that did some like the originals in Gotham and Flash and Supergirl.
Okay.
So I was right when I said Cobblepot. You said Culpepper. I said Cobblepot.
They did direct some Gotham. That's why I was looking at you confused.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I was like, is she making an Oswald Cobblepot reference?
And written by Leslie Headland and Jason McAuliffe, who have both, obviously, Leslie Headland's been, she's written all of these because she's the head writer. She's the showrunner. And he's done some of them too, but I didn't do my research because I don't care. So here we are, the end of the series.
And boy, was I nervous.
Ooh, yeah, you were pacing.
There's a lot riding on this, dude.
Well,
I mean,
it was.
Let me say right up front, hopefully not the end of the series. I don't care what
Seriously.
people on the internet say. I want to see what happens.
I'm worried for it, not because of the internet as much as
Disney.
just Disney spending this much money. I mean, they've got projects coming up. You're gonna get the Boba Fett movie. You got the Daisy Ridley movie. You've got
Who
the
fuck
James
is Daisy
Mann
Ridley.
Ray.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
She
her,
has
that's the
her own.
actress's name.
It's gonna
Oh,
be. It's essentially
okay.
gonna be episode 10. I don't know if it's numbered yet, because whatever you put as number 10 has to fucking really bring.
Well, you
it.
can't call it 10 unless you're definitely planning on doing 11 and 12.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you make trilogies? That's the way Star Wars is supposed to be
You
made.
have to make it in trilogies.
Well, if it's got a number on it, yeah.
So where's Rogue 2 and Rogue 3?
Because that's a Star Wars story. Redact it.
Solo, Dos.
That's
Trace.
Star Wars story. It's fucking a Star Wars story. All that shit, dude. It even says it. That's why they don't get a fucking opening scroll. They don't get the fucking John Williams fanfare. They don't deserve it. They haven't earned it.
And I don't get to say wrong podcast.
Hey, you got yourself here.
I did.
This is-
Hey, that shows you how good this show was.
I mean,
But
it's intriguing to you pretty much
From the
most of
gate.
the episodes. I think
Yeah.
there's a couple stinkers here and there.
I was really annoyed with the breadcrumb ones.
Yeah.
But man, and I mean, you know it's all going to pay off. And of course, we knew there was going to be something else. But like, I felt like this one paid off.
I feel the
Yeah.
same.
I really enjoyed it.
My only qualms with it might be that there's a couple things that didn't look good during the Khmer Soul fight. There was a couple moments I'm like, that's heavy CG, even though that duel is dope.
Yeah.
The what is it? The escape with the ship, chasing the ship, went a little long.
Yeah, it did.
You know, we don't need that graphics. I would prefer a little more exposition and story, but
Yes.
you know, that's minor complaints.
Speaking of the fights in this series, which have been great.
Yeah.
I
agree.
saw a video online the other day, and it's someone trying to prove how George Lucas is better than Disney, whatever. So it's like, here's the lightsaber fights from Disney, and it's showing like the stuff from the sequel movies, where it's like they're very slow moving. They're like, but it's because they're both untrained fucking people who are
Yeah.
using lightsabers.
It's
But
a different dance, baby.
And then it shows like stuff from the prequels, which were fucking great, right? Mostly.
I mean,
like
you know-
not the movies, but the fights.
but you know I gushed that Anakin Obi fight.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and
that's
that's what it
fucking-
showed was the
That's
Anakin Obi
sexual.
fight.
That's just sexual chocolate.
Yeah,
But
it
someone in
was.
the comments was like, "Are you forgetting about this one from George Lucas?" And had like a video of just like it was Obi and Darth Vader from the first movie. It's just like bramp, bramp, dead.
I mean, we'll definitely touch on an episode when we get to episode 4 in 4,000 years. He was still toying with it. Those are claymores. Like that a lightsaber was tough as fuck to use.
Yeah.
Where especially if you didn't have the force, you couldn't just pick it up and use it. So that's one of the reasons that fight looks so slow.
But
Oh, why did they change that?
because
it
they
looks
wanted
better.
it to look cool.
It looks so much better.
Well, it does, but you can still like keep that concept.
The other answer though is that technology wasn't what George Lucas wanted. You know, we
which
had,
he's been saying from the
and
gate.
I wrote those movies, but people couldn't flip and shit, dude. So
I was gonna go in
Kermit the
depth
Frog?
about it right now, but we are not.
Okay, we're not gonna
I
do
want to
that.
save that for 4.
I will. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be on that episode, but I do like the thought that not anybody can just use a lightsaber. Like,
Yeah.
you do need to have maybe force.
In the original trilogy, there's only one person without the Force that ever uses a lightsaber.
Han Solo,
Han Solo.
he cuts open a.
I thought they
tauntaun.
smell bad on the outside.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
and like, the fucking
John
Mandalorian.
Williams? Oh,
Mandalorian. I don't know. I still have Game of Thrones stuck in my head.
yeah, you were just doing Game of
Still got
Thrones.
wiener, wiener,
so-
But you got there.
I knew what she
No,
was
I said
going for. I
Mandalorian.
thought, but I was wrong.
I thought he said it.
I was wrong.
But he used the
Dark saber.
the dark saber, which same thing, same concept. You
Yeah.
have to have belief in yourself.
So,
apparently.
but new canon, that lightsaber is specifically really tough. A black crystal is unique to that only.
I'm so excited to
Okay.
get to the Mandalorian. We've only got to get through the rest of Obi-Wan and Andor and Rogue One and Episode 4, 5,
Original
6.
trilogy, yeah. Oh, and also Andor season 2 might be coming out pretty soon.
so in
So
26.
will there be like a fanboy spinoff somewhere in there?
Yeah. Oh, fanboy. We might just watch that.
Yeah. Fanboys, and then there was the People versus George Lucas
Mhm.
documentary. That could be fun to talk about.
And
Stuff
what's
like
the one
that.
It already knows more than me. I
with
was
the
like,
big
who the fuck is
helmet? They're
Fanboy?
making fun of it. I
Spaceballs.
see you on
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
That's what it is.
That's a tough one because it's just that's funnier than we'll ever be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I aspire to be half as funny as Spaceballs.
Well, you know what will be half as funny as Spaceballs? Spaceballs 2.
Oh God, you hope it's half as funny. You are wishing, pal.
So anyway, The Acolyte opens with Osha still wearing the mask from Episode 6.
Doing the breathing.
And Kamir is kind of laughing about it at first, but when he goes to take it off of her, or she starts having like seizures, he goes to take it off of her, and she starts controlling his mind the way Mama Anasea did.
Yeah.
Uh,
For a
Oh,
second.
that's what was happening.
Yeah,
I
his
couldn't. I
eyes
was
were
what
trying
did
to
you
remember.
think?
I was like, "What is going on?"
yeah, because
Like,
it was showing him in with the light in the real world with
Yeah.
the black eyes, but then in the dark world he's
He's
still there
trying-
trying to reach for it,
reach
but
for
she's
the
in
things.
his
Yeah.
head.
Okay.
So for a quick second, I was like, "Oh shit, Mother Quirrell," because we know Quirrell's still alive.
We
It's been
don't
confirmed.
know.
No, we do.
Leslie Headland has confirmed.
It's been confirmed.
Kind of. She
Oh.
said no body, no death.
So,
Wait, Mama?
Ooh.
Quirrell,
the
the
Dathomir,
The,
Yeah.
the
Spike-
lesbian
Spike-
mother.
the spiked head,
The lover?
Yeah, yeah.
The one that
So
carried
which is
the
also
twins.
confirmed that she is a
Zabrak.
Zabrak. I was going to say Zamboni. That's
from
not right.
Dathomir,
Yeah.
but not necessarily Eridonian.
God.
God,
Racist.
ugh. You didn't know where my friends are from. But yes, for a quick second though, I thought it was her. I was like, oh shit, she's like the one that's been training him.
Oh.
But no.
Okay.
It's 100% like a defense mechanism, kind of from the.
She's tapping into her witch force
Yeah, she
powers.
is.
And
'Cause
these
she never
these
ascended.
sisters are a scale, and they haven't been balanced yet.
Yeah.
One is
Well-
always dark, one is always light so far,
Exactly.
and they've been shifting. And I think that's something. Maybe that's how they converge.
It's whatever they wear. Like, if I'm gonna wear black clothes, then I'm the dark one.
Well, that's just to spell it out to the audience.
There's an article I sent to Jack, and there's a couple things I saw, but that one was the most concise
Yeah.
about how maybe the witches are actually a sect that split off from the Sith. They're not necessarily with the
Bananites?
Bananite Sith, which are the ones that
I
we know.
Bananite might be the wrong term, but it's the Sith that followed the rule of two from Darth Bane.
Is
Yeah,
this like the
'cause-
sex of Catholic churches?
Dude, I have compared the Sith to Catholic churches so many times in my
Yeah,
life.
so the witches are like the Irish Catholic,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
and the Banite Sith are like the Roman Catholic.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And Darth Plagueis is like one of those serpent Baptists.
He's Eastern Orthodox. So she saw a vision of May killing Soul without a lightsaber, and he's like, "Holy shit, she's gonna fulfill the prophecy I made up." So
no, I don't think he made it up. I think it was his master that.
Well,
made
yeah,
it
but I
up.
mean, it's not a prophecy. I was using
I'm
the wrong
getting
word.
the feeling
Yeah.
that his master kind of wants him to get an acolyte because that's progress, but also is like, I know what you're gonna do with it.
yeah.
So I think this is Kamir doing this. I don't know, man. It's tough.
And then just to jump ahead a couple scenes, then come back because it's a real quick thing and it's tied right into this. They decide to leave the planet to go look for Osha.
Uh-huh.
And they're gonna basically race to see who gets her first, right? Because
Yes.
she at this point wants to save Osha, or that is Osha. She wants to save May, and he's like, "Well, whoever gets to her first, buddy," because he wants to make sure she kills Soul.
Right.
But they're going to leave, and they go get on their ship, and then we see a dude with creepy fucking spider fingers.
This is a big moment for me.
It is. I heard you.
It's a big moment. Oh, you didn't hear the internal noises that was making. There's a fucking like 1,000 steamboats.
Like
just.
I did hear an eep.
Yeah,
there was a little.
I can't clench my cheeks hard enough.
This is
I'll let you
almost
decide which
Compliments on the
cheeks.
clean, squeaky cheeks, by the way.
upper cheeks, my friend.
this is almost surely Darth Plagueis that we see.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
I would
looking out of
put
the cave. He's the one that's been training Khmer.
Right.
I'm still gonna go with Khmer, guys, because the stranger is more syllables.
I hate the stranger.
Khmer is what's in my head right now.
and it's a
Yes.
cool name.
Yeah.
I love it.
And he's cute.
Well, Khmer.
Sexy
Yeah,
as
dude,
fuck, dude.
They've already know. Everybody already knows. I am following Khmer anywhere.
I think
He's like,
Khmer.
I will
here's the
be your
thing.
acolyte.
He's so like, he's evil. I don't even want to say that.
He's
because,
not
like,
evil.
He's
You know
a
what?
just wants
sweet. He's a sweet guy.
I'll quote him. Semantics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
He just wants to
be
use
allowed
the Force.
the way
Oh,
he
on
wants
you.
to use it.
Like I'd let him choke me for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this whole series, when we get to the end here, we're gonna jump around, obviously, and you've probably watched this if you're listening to us talk about it.
Seriously, watch it.
This entire series is kind of like Solo, where the entire movie existed just to explain what the Kessel Run was, and how he did it in 12
Seriously,
parsecs.
right?
This entire series exists to explain the origin of the Force choke.
Oh yeah.
Do you think Jedi's auto asphyxiate themselves?
After this, they do. No, it's
Well,
a Sith power.
It is a Sith power because you're
Choking?
not. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Never
No?
seen a Jedi Force choke.
you haven't. Episode 6, Mark Hamill walks into fucking Jabba's palace and force chokes Gamorrean Guard 1, force chokes
Oh, does
Gamorrean
he?
Guard 2.
I thought he
yeah.
just like threw
That
him
means-
off.
No,
It's been a minute.
absolutely. He fucking
I
force
rewatched.
chokes
I
him.
rewatched New Hope and Empire Strikes Back when I got these 4K discs. I've not watched Jedi yet. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
we'll get there.
I cannot wait. Those are great fucking discs.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess he did force choke.
Yeah.
All right, but
Well,
we
look
see
who his
Darth
daddy
Plagueis,
was.
and that's pretty cool.
But
Probably
then
Darth
It's
Plagueis.
my dad's move.
we're hoping it's Darth Plagueis.
Plagueis.
While we were watching it, I was like,
Pegasus.
that's got to be Darth Plagueis, right? And Jack's like, yeah. And Whitney's like, what?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk. So Darth Plagueis has only been, if you don't do any of like the legends or books and stuff,
If you're me,
he was mentioned in episode 3
3, yeah.
where Darth Sidious as Palpatine is telling Anakin like, hey, there's a guy that learned the legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise. He learned how to like extend life and save the loved ones that that were dying. Like he could bring people back, kind of. And that's what got Anakin seduced to go to the dark side. He also had an apprentice named Darth Sidious.
okay. So the fact that he said saved others as well, 1,000%. Vanastra tried to kill this guy,
Oh
a
yeah,
Khmer, and we all saw the whip-shaped lightsaber
yeah.
marking on his back, and he said, "I was left for trash." That makes even more sense that Plagueis.
So the internet's gonna be really upset that Darth Plagueis is here for the most part.
The
Yeah,
internet's gonna be upset
because it's gonna break what's not canon anymore. Like you can have multiple print. We saw fucking Sidious do it. You trade up. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you have there are players. They have a stable full of Sith bitches, and sometimes you want a dude with a double-bladed lightsaber. Sometimes you want an old dude with a fucking curved hilt.
So is it
Is it
kind of
with
like
a curve. What now?
Hilt. You heard me.
So is it kind of like a midlife crisis kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting
Got
a newer
harem of
model.
bitches.
Yeah.
That's why
Well-
he ended up with the 19-year-old.
you need the one. I get it.
He got a red convertible speeder.
You need the one that is like getting up there, but you want him to do the dirty training.
You're
so
also
you can like just knock him off
right.
and not have to do the basic training anymore, and just be like, all right, we're matched here.
But also think of it from this way. The old way used to be I train you, you get powerful enough, you kill me, right?
Uh-huh.
You train Hector. He gets powerful enough, he kills you.
He could try.
And then and so on, so on. But what if you happen to be the one that learned how to extend your life? Now you're not waiting for him to kill you. You're trying to fucking chase power.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, what can I learn from you? What can I steal from you? What can I get you to do for me?
Okay.
So this is kind of the beginning of where Sidious is like, oh, I don't have to follow that fucking shit. I can just be the forever Sith.
Yep.
And that's endgame.
That
Okay.
kind of ties back into the article I was talking about, where like because the witches have the power of 2, right? That's
Yeah.
this whole thing with
They have
the dyad and whatnot.
Don't know.
But that's like their what the article was positing was that that's kind of their extension of the rule of two, but it's because they split off very early. So instead of having the rule of two, they have their version, which is the power of two, which you have two who are in charge, I think is what they're going for.
And again, a lot of the stuff people are going to complain about aren't legends anymore. So it's like they'll say Bane thought that he
or they aren't canon.
What's that?
They aren't canon.
Oh, they aren't canon. Yes, thank you. Bane thought he exterminated all the Sith that didn't go into his rule of two. That doesn't really have to be canon anymore.
You learn the dark side. I was born in it.
Molded by it.
Darth Bane here.
I mean, yeah. You always talk about how fucking Star Wars names are so spot on. And it's like, yeah, he's not wrong.
But so then we have Sol and May at Brendok waiting for the Jedi in their ship. She's like, he's talking to her still. Sol talks a lot.
Yeah.
Which is crazy for a guy who just learned English.
Yeah,
still impressive.
I just learned that today.
Still impressive, dude. I couldn't learn Korean in 4 years.
Yeah,
dude, no fucking way.
Well, I mean, didn't Will Ferrell do Casa de Mi Padre without knowing Spanish?
Yeah, but he grew up in California, so he at least knew how to order food. Yeah, and I don't mean that in a racist way. I mean because that food's delicious.
I don't know how to speak Spanish, but I have a perfect accent when I do speak it.
Look, I can go to Mexico. I can find beer. I can find food. I can find marijuana, and I can find a bathroom. These are the things you need.
Do you know how to get to a donkey show, though?
Hey, you know what?
Allegedly.
If you do Mexico right, the donkey show finds you, pal.
Hopefully the show, not the donkey.
You just go up to someone and you go, hee-haw, and they know what you're talking about.
You're going to get some weird results.
But so they're waiting for the Jedi. She's getting Pip to lockpick the thing while she's distracting Sol. Oh. And it's funny because it's right before he's telling her, even though we saw the flashback and I thought that's the story he was telling, but I guess we're just getting the full story. Because he's like about to tell her, you're not twins. You're not even sisters. You're fucking taser to the nipple. Yeah, she tases the shit out of him.
She could have waited for nothing, dude. He's a taint tickler.
Apparently he's good for something. He picks locks. He tases Jedi.
Sure. If you're
he's a light. He's a light source.
He squirts in your eyeball.
He unlocks doors.
He squirts in your eyeballs. How you trying to sell them to me? Hey, I got this new drug. Oh. Thanks, Whitney.
He lubricates things for you.
It's called Darth.
That's better.
Darth John Holmes. I'll spray in your eyeball.
Darth Money Shot.
But so she escapes, and he chases her through these like ice rings on this planet, which is pretty cool. Although as soon as they started going into the ice rings, I was like, "Are they going to do an episode 2 here?" You know, when they're going through the meteor or the asteroid field, and there's the thing you love. Yeah,
the seismic charge, dude. That's the coolest noise in Star Wars.
I don't really understand what Basil was doing, though. So Basil's all over this episode, which is great.
I have questions about Basil. Love Basil.
Where do I get one?
Love,
right?
Love
Where do I
Basil.
get one?
So he obviously could smell. I think he's confused that Osha and May, they smell the exact same. And that's the only reason he sabotaged Sol's ship.
Okay.
Because that's what happens. Sol is bearing down on her. And then all of a sudden,
and he's about to shoot her. He's got the targeting computer up and shit.
Oh, I thought he was just trying to dock with it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think get your mind out of the gutter. I'm not talking about male genitalia.
Sol and Basil are trying to dock.
That's gonna be a weird combo, buddy.
Basil can tell the difference between May and Osha
because he knew when May got on the ship and Sol thought it was Osha. Maybe it's because he's trying to stop Sol from killing her.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes more sense because I didn't understand that. Maybe he can smell the Force.
There he goes.
He's sniffing a lot of things
because he's sniffing just out into the middle of the fucking vacuum of space, and it's like, you know what? I gotta sabotage this ship. Yeah. Can you smell what the Force is cooking? Basil can.
Basil can. Yeah, he can.
But so May crashes on Brendok, and Sol goes down there to find her. At the same time all this is happening, we're back on Coruscant, and we've got Vernestra, and she's talking to Senator Rayencourt, who is played by a guy named David Harewood, who everybody recognized immediately. I think you didn't even watch the CW stuff and you knew who he was,
yeah, I
right?
did.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
You watched Arrow?
He's Martian Manhunter on Supergirl.
I watched Arrow, I watched Flash, and I watched some of Supergirl, mostly because of the crossovers.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to watch other stuff to be like, well, I don't really lost.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
that's exactly
why we watched it all.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch all 27 episodes of Supergirl, so this one episode makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's on, and he and I are both just like, okay, he's the helmet guy. Got it. Oh, she's a lesbian now.
I mean, I think that's what CW is. Is like, do you want to kind of know a story, but also be on your phone? CW.
And every time you look up, someone sexy is on the screen.
Yeah. It could be Stephen Amell. Could be a Robbie Amell.
Whichever direction you're looking for. Male, female, other.
This guy's got points, by the way.
He does. This is kind of what this whole series is about, right?
Yes, which is a problem for a lot of people that are just mad that it's not their Star Wars.
Yes.
Because you're like, dude, what do you mean you're attacking the Jedi? George Lucas never meant for this Jedi to be this. Like, he only showed the Jedi in shambles for the most part, or dying.
This is also what? It's 100 years before?
150?
Yeah,
no, just
100
years.
100 years, I think
100
it was.
years, okay.
But yeah, they're basically what he says is like, you're an unchecked political system pretending to be a religion.
Yeah, pretending to be
unchecked
religion,
political power, something like that. Yeah,
claiming to have control over something no one can control.
Are we just talking about Star Wars or the Catholic Church?
dude, I'm saying
The Catholic Church.
Catholicism,
and he's like, no, emotions.
yeah,
because and his point is, one of these days, one of you motherfuckers is gonna snap, and how are we gonna deal with that? And she's like, that's never gonna happen.
Guess what?
You know, it's funny though. It's because it's not even because the Jedi snapped that. I mean, Anakin obviously being the Jedi that snaps. Sidious was just born evil.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of, and this show tackles it well. Khmer with his red lightsaber. He's not an evil guy, dude. I think he wanted to feel something. The way that he comes at Osha and May, he just wants to feel a connection. I bet you he turned evil over a lost love.
Yes.
Man or woman, doesn't matter.
Also, I have another thing. When Osha and Khmer are walking to his ship, he's like, why do you think I'm fair? And she's like, because you weigh things out and you go least resistant. Like you are
you
fair
made
about
a deal
it.
with May.
Yeah.
She was supposed to hold up her part. That seems fair.
Yep. And now you're gonna let me ride with you on the ship. That's fair.
He offers right here. He's like, hey, let me train you. And she says no. And he's like, one more time. He's like, last chance. Let me train you.
Turns out it wasn't the last chance.
I know. But this is the point though, and I didn't get it till the end. I thought it was a weird conversation, but he says, she then says, I'm nothing like my sister. He goes, oh, I know. She jumped at that at the first chance. Meaning you're stronger and you need to get there. Your sister's just kind of angry. You're more than that. You are more passionate.
You have deep-seated anger.
You're a sensitive person. Sensitive people get pissed off harder. You know, if you're just an angry person, you wear your anger on your sleeve. That's just you, dude. But when you watch your quiet friend lose it,
so it's like, is he a guy just looking for a girl with daddy issues?
Aren't we all?
Facts. Yeah.
We have a mutual friend that absolutely terrifies me. All of us do. We all know and love this person. I'm not going to say their name. But when you piss this person off, he doesn't scream, he doesn't yell, he doesn't punch. He gets real close in your face and says it very softly.
He goes full
Sith.
Sith.
It's fucking terrifying.
He goes full Sith, man.
And I'm just like, I never want to. I did. I pissed him off once, and he did that to me once, and I'll never do it again.
Hey, touch my plate of food.
No, see, you're more May in that case.
You want to see Darth Plagueis?
That's my fries. I dare you.
Dude, touch anything on my plate, you're gonna lose a hand. It's gonna get real Star Wars up in here.
So Vernestra gathers a bunch of knights. She's like, get a bunch of Jedi Knights. We're going to get Soul.
Without causing anything, without being noticed.
It's fun to see this. It's fun to see this because we're used to. I mean, even Clone Wars didn't have this many.
Yeah,
Jedi.
So
This is just a kind of routine mission. Not routine, but I guess it's kind of almost incognito mission.
Yeah.
What is it? There's like 25, 30?
Yeah, probably.
And they don't really do anything, but there's a bunch of them there.
Yeah.
They don't do anything as we saw them all. The other ones all die earlier.
They walk
in the
menacingly.
series.
For a second, I was like, oh shit, are we gonna see? I wanted to see Plagueis kind of come in and fuck these dudes up, but I was like, no, we saw from Plagueis.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's season 2 shit.
But I would have thought, dude,
Oh,
what if
boy.
all these Jedi just get murked? But you can't cover that up.
Yeah.
And the big thing about this show, I don't know if you know that people are upset because it changes the lore of the Sith have been extinct for millennia.
Okay.
Is what just a line that was said in episode 1.
So has he just been like hiding?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And we see at the end of this, just to cut ahead, or unless we don't.
Yeah, whatever.
It's just to cut ahead. Like this whole thing ends with Vernestra Rwoh covering it up.
Again, covering it up
Just
for
covering
her
up.
ass.
And just like there is no Sith. It was just one guy doing this. So we'll get back to it. But yeah, cover it up.
But everything kind of converges on Brendock. The Jedi go there. Everybody goes there. But I did
all
laugh.
roads lead to Brendock.
The only
dude.
thing the Jedi really do as they get there, and there's that one that looks like a Viking
Uh-huh.
when they're trying to get into the fortress. This dude literally just flips a switch and like bops a fucking computer and goes, And Vernestra Rowe just uses her force powers to open the door. She's like, dude, come on.
What
You're a
happens
Jedi.
What happens before we get to the door? Another Viking guy is holding Pip, and Pip's like, Pip, 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 Pip.
I was so upset, and all of a sudden, this guy just closes Pip. I was like, yeah.
He presses a button.
I
He's
hope
like,
he takes
"And
out the batteries
you're
and
done."
throws it. Well, you know that we're going to see a Pip toy, and I'm going to have to beat up a little kid.
And
I'm actually surprised I
I'm gonna
haven't
buy you
seen
one,
one yet.
Jack.
I'm gonna
Just
go
to to watch you destroy it.
I'm going to go to jail for beating up a little kid, dude, that brings a Pip droid around me.
No, he's gonna buy you one so you can use your
Destroy it.
lightsaber to
Yeah, destroy
destroy it.
I'll do that.
It'll
That
be-
sounds
it'll be
great.
therapeutic
That
for
sounds
you.
Great.
Maybe we can move forward.
Use it
from
as a
there.
baseball thing.
So Osha and Kamir and Sol and May are all in the fortress. I don't know how Kamir got in there because May says, or Osha says, like, oh, we have to either hack this door or climb up. And he goes, maybe you do, and disappears.
Yeah. He's
But
just
again,
like,
okay, I didn't think about it till right now. Obviously, there's the Sith, Plagueis and Kamir have been watching the witches. They're learning shit, dude. They learned how to make life out of the Force.
yeah,
And they
did.
probably learned how to do the fucking wraith-like thing,
Oh,
to a degree.
okay.
Oh.
And maybe he didn't teach it to Sidious, but maybe that's something Kamir and Plagueis can both do.
So then Kamir and Sol have their lightsaber battle, which is pretty fucking cool.
Dude, this
I love
battle.
it.
Ugh.
And
I
I love it. They're going through like narrow corridors, and I love when they do that because the lightsabers are hitting the walls and stuff. Like we've seen it in other stuff too, but like lightsabers just going through walls, scraping off the ceiling. There's sparks flying everywhere. He pulls out his little baby blade.
Shoto.
They start. I like baby blade.
No, it's what fucking gladiators had.
Or
And
samurai,
then-
wasn't it?
or
They had the
samurai.
long katana and the short one.
Gladiators also.
Yeah, there's another-
It's a giant and
I
a
don't know
little.
the name.
That's the one that they
Short.
did the.
Seppuku?
Sudoku?
Yeah.
Seppuku. And then
That's what
Carry,
they did
carry.
Sudoku
Saki?
with.
It's
What do you call
Harry Carey.
It's the same thing. One word was invented for the Americans to understand it, which is harikuri. But Simpuko.
That sounds like a
is-
Because
sex
they
move.
were like, because the Americans were like, well, oh, you mean that guy that announces
Simpuko is a
baseball?
much more traditional translation of like just the cutting of the skin to do this thing.
I'm here to kill myself.
Ah, hey, if you're a samurai, would you kill yourself?
You know
I know
what?
I would.
My uterus does it every month. So fuck you both.
But I love when Sol comes at him, he throws the two blades and they go behind him and he uses the force to pull him back.
Dude, this move
and
Soul
fucking
does.
Sol just
Like out of the
busts out with
Matrix.
this super
Because
force
it's a
push.
dope little-
He does a
It's-
little spin. He does a little spin on it. He puts a little ganache.
But it's a dope
A little
fucking move.
ganache.
From-
Yeah.
Ganoush?
Panache.
Panache.
ganache.
Ganache
I
is
said what I
chocolate sauce.
said. I know.
He put some chocolate sauce on that
know what?
shit.
Yeah. actually works.
Exactly.
I like the move though, the double lightsaber, because he's also going up for a fucking punch.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, you can invent two of these things, right? And then that's Soul's move.
Yeah.
Soul does this little
Pushes everything away.
pirouette.
But he got his
We've
ass
seen-
beat the like 2-3 episodes before.
He didn't get his ass beat. He put up
Well,
a huge fight.
also,
Also,
he's-
But he had a backup too, though.
But he
They, like,
says in
wiped
this
out.
one that he's like, I will kill you if that's what you
He has,
want.
he
yeah,
has
yeah,
purpose
yeah.
now. He was distracted. He just watched, what, 8 people die or
well,
so?
Jackie wasn't dead yet, right? When
No,
he
Jackie
was,
dies at. Jackie's one of the last ones to die. Oh no,
Yeah.
the other one. They
Yeah,
stabbed
that's
him
what I
back.
mean.
He's
That's
off
what he's
balance.
saying. They've
Yeah.
killed all of his friends.
Yeah, he's off balance.
So
This
right
one,
now
he's got
he's
fucking,
like, fuck you,
he's got purpose. And it turns out his purpose is mostly
Osha.
for Osha. That's really it. Like,
It's because she has the most power. I think
No,
that's what he's
And he
attracted
loves
to.
her. He cares about her.
He does love
I
her. Not in the
think-
pedo way. I think in a fatherly
no,
way.
No, yeah, like
no,
a
not
fatherly or
inappropriately.
like big brother way.
but I think Osha was more of the light side, and May was more of the dark side, especially back then.
I don't think.
And he's just attracted to, not in an inappropriate way, like a moth to the flame, to
Yeah.
the light side of
Okay.
the force.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, I got to do whatever I can to help this little girl and bring her to, like, I need her to succeed.
He's a force nerd.
So
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
called that Osha was going to be the acolyte. I 1000% said it to Hector at the beginning of the episode. I was like, it's going to be Osha. I don't doubt she is going to come back to the light. I think
gray
that
at
she's
best.
going to merge.
the thing
okay.
is, you can do, since this is so long ago, none of these characters matter in like the main saga.
Uh-huh.
If they do get a second season, they can do whatever they want.
To a degree.
I s-
There's certain, they can't be too big because
Well-
we still need the Jedi to deny them
Yeah,
in the prequels.
I still
So they
think they're
can't do
going to
anything,
merge.
but I mean, she can be
sure,
evil.
yeah, they can do that for sure.
I think that they're going to merge and something's going to happen.
What I mean by too big, I guess, is you can't leave too big of a galactic thumbprint. You know, like, hey, stay.
Oh,
stay
because it
low,
hasn't been
stay
talked
low.
about?
Yeah.
They wanted them to merge here, but Amanda Stenberg was like, no, I like getting 2 checks.
Right?
She's like, I'll walk right now. I'll walk, dude.
So May and Osha confront each other. They have a little bit of a conversation. The big thing that comes out of that is it's May telling Osha, like, how could he teach you to control your negative emotions? Because he's the cause of them.
Yeah.
And then they get into a fight. And there's another really cool transition. It's that Star Wars thing of cutting from one fight to a scene of people talking, which always annoys me. But this one's cool because they start fighting, and when they kick each other, because they're doing the exact same moves. It's like a mirror fighting itself. When they go to kick each other and their legs cross, it cuts to the lightsabers crossed, which I thought was a cool transition.
I did.
Very good
I
transition.
loved how they did that. There's not much I can complain about this episode.
Well, and I also don't mind a fight to a fight. What we don't like is when you have a fight to like,
Conversation.
let's slow it down real quick and talk about it.
That's what I mean. Like, that's how this one started. It was this intense fight, and then it goes to like, let's cry at each other for a few minutes, but then they get into a fight. So
yeah, that's why it works.
And while all this is going on, the Jedi ship arrives, and Sol is like, "Oh, you're in trouble now, motherfucker." And Kamir is basically like, "Do you think they're here for me?"
Oh, it was Kamir that said it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Sol that said it.
No. Sol, because he has set him up.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, he has. He knew what he was doing.
Maybe not on purpose, but he just also knows. He's like, dude, the Jedi are just going to assume the worst about you because that's what they do. They assume the worst about me and cast me out. So they're looking at the evidence. You went to go investigate. All the Jedi that were with you are dead, and the guy you went to go investigate, Kilnaka.
Well, and not just...
And then you turn off your transponder.
Yeah, and
he didn't know that.
not just looking out for, or like assuming the worst in you, but they're also... He knows they're all about looking out for themselves and covering their own tracks.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so
and
like
then,
they're gonna stop you from doing what you're doing because it looks bad, but also they're gonna be like, well, we need somebody to be a scapegoat. That's basically.
I absolutely loved, and it just like totally answered all of our theories about Kamir's back and the whip on his back and everything.
Oh yeah, because during the fight, which we're not going to describe, we've said we love it.
No, yeah.
There's a point where Sol just pretty much gets the upper hand. I thought Kamir was sliced.
Yeah,
because they do this that great little. You can't see what happens, but you know somebody's struck.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck, they just killed Kamir, and I really like him, his look and everything. But it's just his lightsaber that drops.
Yeah.
Which
so
I mean,
Sol
shouldn't
cut
the
his
small one
lightsaber.
still work?
Maybe.
No, because the crystal was.
But what did you need 2 crystals?
It needed to be recharged. Is what the problem was. I think
that's actually not a terrible answer at all.
Okay.
I think it had to recharge.
It's a very short-lived lightsaber thing. I don't know. We've seen Shotos before. We've never seen a hidden blade like this. So there's new rules. It can be whatever we want.
But then also when the ship lands and Vanestra stands on the ground.
Oh, she's like, oh,
and
he's
then
still
she's
alive.
Kamir has his helmet off. That's
that's
what
what
it is.
happened.
That was the whole setup for that. Was his?
Yeah.
He kind of almost admits defeat, right?
Yeah.
Like he takes his helmet off, and it, like he said before, unless she gets to you, because here comes Osha now.
Well, May comes out first and takes Sol's
Oh, that's right.
lightsaber.
That's right. It's May that comes. Sorry, she's wearing white. Thought it was Osha.
Let's just confuse everybody. Let's give them the same haircut, switch their clothes.
But we see Osha get the lightsaber, and it's like, oh, but here's the vision. But no, I want him to stand trial. You know, he's gotta
May
pay for
says
it.
the
that.
lightsaber.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
May
Sorry,
gets the lightsaber.
May gets it. God damn.
Yeah.
May gets it, and you know, we think it's the vision that Osha saw about
Right.
May doing
I mean,
it.
Kamir has a line that's almost straight out of Jedi. Because he says, strike him down and your journey will be complete.
I thought that was
What
like,
is that from?
It's just Sithy words. It's your journey is complete.
At the end of Return of the
tells-
Jedi, the Emperor tells Luke when he strikes down his father.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
He can take his place.
The circle
so
is
long.
complete. I
Yeah,
think he says.
something.
Yeah, it's very Sithy words, like it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that whole like, do it.
Yeah, but then Vanestra.
And-
my whole thing was the whole Vanestra.
And
moment.
May threw the lightsaber, and you saw it crack, which is funny because we've seen this thing fly out of their hands 100 times. But she flew it.
I don't know if it
she
did
threw
crack.
just
I
the
think
right
it
way.
was just an image of the focusing lens into the kyber crystal.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
And the kyber crystal is very jagged. It's not a smooth crystal. I don't know if we know that.
No.
okay. But it looked like the
You can go to the Gem and Mineral show here and pick up kyber crystal all you want, buddy.
Osha finds the lightsaber, comes out, but as she's coming out, she hears Sol confess to killing Anastasia,
Yeah.
Yep.
and she's like,
Which
The
is kind of
fuck,
the first
dude?
time because every time they talk
hasn't
about it,
said
he's
it.
like, I was doing what needed to be done. Did you kill my mom? Like, I did what was best for you. And finally this time he's like, Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I killed
But
her.
I didn't want to, but it's what needed to be done
It was
for
the
you.
best for you guys.
I was trying to protect you.
He backs it up with that, but still, it's the first time I think he's admitted it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is. And
it
you
is.
can see
'cause
almost
he says,
relief with grief.
Uh-huh.
and because right as he's saying it to Osha, he's telling her, and he's like, I did it because I look.
Yeah.
Stop
She starts force
talking.
choking him. Because, she told him to shut the fuck up, and he kept talking.
He's
fuck around and find out, dude.
He's
Yeah,
a stalker
exactly.
at this point,
Me as a
though.
Sith, dude, watch out.
Like, hey, no, I did this because I love you. Yeah, but you harmed my family. No, because I love you. Like, everything
Yeah.
he's doing is very stalkery. This
like,
is Mark
like that guy
Wahlberg in
that
Fear.
Killed, like the
Oh
guy
my
that
god,
killed.
it is! Oh, fuck.
We see something right here that Jack has mentioned on this podcast. Maybe not
Ooh.
the Acolyte version, but on the
No,
other
I
stuff. You've mentioned wanting to see this.
I think I mentioned it on The Acolyte. But
Did you?
I definitely have it on record that I said we've never seen a lightsaber bleed. We were talking about how Ahsoka, how she has
Yeah.
the purified crystals. I was very much the excite watching this because you
Okay.
see it fucking happening.
Please explain to me, because I thought like she was bleeding,
No.
and I
It's the
didn't
process
understand
of
quite what was
turning-
happening.
So there's two ways to get a red lightsaber. One is the newer one with Kylo Ren. It's a synthetic crystal.
Right.
Forget that. The other one is the classic way of bleeding a lightsaber, which is pouring all of your hate, your anger, and your emotion into it and pretty much doing something terrible with it.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber should have been red after he killed all those younglings.
The band one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's a lot of hate and anger. Or maybe it's not because that's just the job he needed to do. Anyway,
He didn't hate them. He's just doing a job.
exactly.
Like a Nazi.
He hated Obi-Wan.
Like a Nazi.
But he lost that lightsaber anyway.
I don't think I watched episode 3. I don't think I've ever have.
Oh, okay. I will
Well,
watch
you
that
sat.
again.
You sat over there on that couch while we talked about it. Same thing.
I heard
I
you
will
guys
watch
talk
it
about
again.
it, but please.
So I watch
But-
most
but
of my
anyway,
movies now.
Bleeding of fucking kyber crystals, something I've always wanted to see. And we saw it, dude. It starts getting.
And I mean,
a
this
little
is
bit
a
red,
minimal
little bit
amount
red.
of evil that she's doing. I mean, she's killing Soul, but I think it's not just what she's
Well, she's
doing.
not even killing him yet. She's just.
Well, she's
But
choking
I
him.
think the act is less. The
It's
intent
the
is more.
It's the feelings you have.
Yes, she's like,
And
holy
she's
shit, you
gripping
killed
that
my. She's
saber so
thinking
hard.
about everything that
But she's killing her master too, though, right? So that has to count for something.
It definitely counts for something, but usually you kill your master when you already have a red lightsaber. But she is killing somebody that she had a huge connection with.
Right.
Somebody I dare say she probably would have said she loved.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't.
So-
I disagree.
So yeah, there is something to that. But I was so happy to see this. And then in a little bit when she ignites it,
That's even cooler.
That was the
it's
best part.
blue
Dude, I
and
thought
red.
it
You
was
could
going to
see
be
it
like
fucking-
halfsies for a minute.
No. I knew exactly what they were doing, and man, it was everything I wanted.
Is that what that other peep I heard from you do?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There was finger snaps, beeps, boops, and
Yeah, I did. I saw the weird little.
Yeah, Jack. Jack shot steam out of the
England.
top of his head.
But
But so Osha and May flee together. We see how May survived. She fell down from the thing, but then she went into this tunnel.
She got sucked
much
into
like
this tunnel.
Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back. How he survives falling from Cloud City there.
uh-huh.
Bespin?
Bespin.
There you go.
I'm so fucking proud of this
I was like,
podcast.
Cloud City.
Dude, your wife's starting to understand me. You're starting to speak the language.
Kamir takes so they meet up at the Bunta tree, which I
Yep.
couldn't remember the name of, and called Buttersauce tree. Pretty close.
Very American of you to wish that butter sauce just rolled from the ground.
It's like a
Honey, I struck all.
it's
Sorry,
like the
butter
maple
sauce.
trees in Vermont, but
Fuck, it's murdered.
Get the bucket. I got a butter sauce tree. Suck it, Mrs. Butterworth.
but Kamir meets them there. He takes the lightsaber from Osha, and basically, so the way I understood it first was they were saying that May and Kamir were going to leave, and Osha was going to stay, but then Kamir waves his magic fingers and wipes out.
Oh no, I
May's
understood
memory.
the whole time.
Okay, I guess
Yeah.
I also
Okay.
just get confused because they're
Can
the
I
same
say-
person.
It is.
Can I
literally.
say?
It is confusing.
Because I actually follow that very easily.
Uh huh.
So Osha was leaving with Kamir, and May was staying behind. And Kamir said, "I'll wipe her brain so she has no memory of you or me ever."
Okay.
And then that's when they were hugging. He did offer her the lightsaber to kill her, and she said, "Not yet." And then hugged and cried as they said, I am you, you are me, or
Well,
whatever.
I don't think I don't think it was
their
offered to
little
kill
poem.
her. I think it was like, take this and let's go. And she's like, not yet. I need to say my goodbye before you wipe the memory.
And so, yeah, so
Okay.
that wasn't confusing to me at all. I
I was
100%
also
got that.
taking notes about it, so I was looking back and forth. But
And it's perfect because now you have this disciple in OSHA, Acolyte, that is, wow, he's the wrong fucking word. That is just so
raw,
heartbroken right now.
She's raw.
She's lost literally everyone now.
And she just found, you found out that the guy you did have a love connection with killed everyone else you had a love connection with, and framed the other person you had a love connection with.
So the Jedi
Stop loving people.
That's the moral of Star Wars.
Yes.
The Jedi find May, and Vernestra Rowe is interrogating her back at Coruscant. And she doesn't. Her last memory is from when she was 8 years old. It's from right after the fire. But also, she doesn't even remember that she had a sister, which is pretty fucked up. Like when he said he's gonna wipe everything out, I thought he meant like all of this stuff,
dude.
like not just completely.
I don't want to split hairs here, dude, but she doesn't have a sister.
That's true.
Yeah, they're not sisters.
As
They
far
are
as
one and the
everyone
same.
else,
Not to be
knows.
confused with Nazi sisters this week on Fox.
They are light and dark.
But as far as everybody else knows, they're sisters. Because then
Yeah.
she says, "Do you remember your sister?" And she's like, "I have a sister."
Okay,
kind of
so
heartbreaking.
the only people that know are either dead or it's Kamir and Kamazel.
Can I just say I never
Kamir
liked
Kamazel.
Austin Pfeffer Incorporated.
I never liked Vernestra Incorporated.
Yeah. She's a very necessary character.
She is a necessary character, but she's shiesty as fuck.
So we think it's the end for a second because we get
Talking about Shrek, right?
OSHA.
Yeah.
We get OSHA and Kamir holding hands over a lightsaber. I don't necessarily find it to be romantic. What did you think? Like, did you find it
No, I
romantic?
didn't think
or
Accepting.
that. I thought it was
togetherness
exactly.
kind of thing is what
Yeah.
I got. All right.
And we see that Vernestra is selling them out, which we mentioned. She's talking to the council or the Senate.
I just want to make
Yes.
sure we all think he's still single. Okay, go on.
Yes. Oh,
She's
no, I'm
talking
still
to the
following.
senators that are all gathered here and telling them what happened. But her version is that Sol was rogue. They did all this stuff. She tells the true story about what happened, kind of, but then Sol was rogue and he killed everybody who was a witness.
Yeah, he
and then
killed
killed
all
himself.
of the
The
other
Jedis.
elders, all the other not elders.
At least she apologized.
But they-
to the dead body.
Yeah, shit.
I mean,
yeah.
she's like,
when
I'm
it
sorry, I have to
counts.
sell you out.
They juxtapose that with her telling May that he's like the most brilliant, noble Jedi she's ever known, and like she's saying all the good stuff about him. She just can't say it. She's like, but publicly, I'm gonna shit on his name.
Because the public can't know that there's a Sith. They can't
Yeah.
know that
Fake
there's
news.
dark out there.
Well,
Yep,
they
it's
can't know
fake
that it's
news.
her
Fake news.
Sith.
Right? They can't. She's covering her own ass because
Yeah,
she caused
especially.
this to happen.
So, and Whitney did say it, but I don't think we finished on it. When Venestra was like, "Oh, it's you."
Yeah,
Do you remember the next line? You're
You're
alive.
alive.
you're alive.
Yeah.
So
She tried to kill him.
You left
Yeah.
him for dead like a motherfucker.
For sure.
Like
Yeah,
he
she
said,
Obi-Wan'd
left
him.
for trash.
She left him on Mustafar, but somehow he came back.
And now that we saw fucking Dark Plagueis confirmed, one of us had
That's
mentioned
why it
this.
says it has to be Plagueis if he can bring back life.
Well, not even that. No. I don't think he died. I think he got left for dead, and Plagueis probably nursed him back to health. But do you remember the line episodes ago where you were a Jedi? He's like a long time ago. I don't remember you. It was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Because Darth Plagueis, Vernestra Rowe is at least 150.
Yeah.
yeah, because
So,
she's in the
a hyperspace
High Republic
catastrophe.
Yeah, the High Republic book that I'm listening to
And
right
how old
now.
is she in that?
She's younger in that, but that's 150 years or something before this.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I would put her at like 150 to 170. I don't know, guessing. So with Darth Plagueis being Kamir's master, makes sense why he's like, it's a long time ago. This guy keeps me alive, dude.
Oh, so I was wrong in the connection with him and Soul. It was him and Venestra. But the fact that Venestra trained Soul, he should understand, like, because remember my theory was
No, Vanessa trained Kamir.
that's what I'm saying. But
Okay.
she also trained Soul.
Probably.
Yes.
Most-
she calls him
most
master,
likely.
right?
Most
Well, they have
likely.
like a whole system for it here.
She
They have,
may
like-
not. Well, I mean, I don't know, because she's not the Grandmaster, but she is a high up master. Is that little blonde dude her Padawan?
I think so.
I-
Yeah.
Do you
It's like her
only get
assistant
one
slash
Padawan?
At a time.
Yeah.
But like my Padawan and your Padawan, we can change them.
You know, we can go on missions.
Padawan
There's no
swap.
swing and there's no swinging and DP in the Jedi.
It's a soft swap, guys.
You're the best step Padawan ever. You could. So, like, let's say everybody in this room is all, Jedi masters and or at least knights and have Padawans. I could say like, hey, I'm taking my Padawan over to the zoo to learn about, tigers. And you go, oh, that'd be a good lesson for my Padawan. They can come with me and you don't have to go. That's like missions like that.
Okay.
Or even tougher ones like, hey,
But
I'm going to go bust up some hut butt.
that's the end of the episode, kind of.
Kinda. I thought it was.
But we get a stinger. It's not really a stinger because it doesn't come after the credits, but
No.
we get one more little shot
It's a tickle.
of
A tingle.
Vernestra walking in to go talk to someone from the council. Camera has to pan way down.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep
Oh,
going.
yeah.
Keep
There
going.
Oh, yeah.
it
There's the
is.
hairy bald
To the
head.
back of Yoda's head.
There's
You will be. You will be.
Be
So-
you will.
So Leslie Headland kind of lied to us all. She said there's no Yoda in this.
Could be Yaddle.
Oh. Could it be Yaddle?
No, she's got darker, red hair and more of it.
Oh.
wait, Yaddle's an actual character?
Yeah, she's the
Yeah.
female version of Yoda.
There's 3.
And
2.
Hold on. Wait. Listen. There are 3 versions of this species.
2.
We don't know
Oh,
their.
that's right, because of
We
Grogu.
don't know the.
wife's right.
Fuck you.
I forgot about
We
Grogu.
don't know the name of the species. We don't necessarily know where they come from.
No, we know nothing about them.
We know absolutely nothing about them, but we do know that every single one of them have a huge connection to the Force.
You talked about how George Lucas always rubber stamped everything,
Yeah.
with the exception of you could not write about the race of Yoda, the homeworld of Yoda. You couldn't introduce a
So
new
he
Yoda.
has to remain
Yep.
mysterious.
If you wanted to do a Yoda story, it had to be like he went and did stuff, but nothing like, well, then he went home to his family.
You can't
Then
do an
he-
Origins.
Nope.
There's no
Okay.
Star Wars holiday special about Yoda. Is
Nope.
what you're saying? We don't get to listen to the Yoda people talk to each other for 30 minutes?
No
think
yodels
not. Yeah.
for you.
Sing
Is it-
Christmas songs
Is that how they
backwards?
talk on their planet? They yodel?
Yaddle didn't.
Yeah.
Yaddle didn't yodel, dude.
Neither
So,
does.
so is Yaddle
You know
around the
what,
same
though?
time as Yoda, or are they separate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
So-
she's in
yeah.
episode 1.
They're both on they're both in the High Council in episode 1.
With
but-
the ETs.
We're going to get...
No,
no,
that's the
the
Senate.
Senate.
Oh.
We're going to get some information about that, though, right?
Yeah.
With the with
Like
the Mandalorian
Lucas
and
is
Grogu
gonna
movie.
do something.
I don't know how much they're gonna do. I think they will keep it mostly secret. I don't think we're gonna go to
Okay.
the homeworld.
The weird deep dive that
I'd
I
love to
was
be
in,
wrong.
it did say that they could force procreate, but also naturally procreate.
Oh yeah.
But that might not be canon. Everything's
No, I don't know what canon is anymore because it
Yodels?
keeps changing.
What
But
else do you
they
call
could've
them, man?
So
gremlined
that's
it.
their species from now
The
on.
yodels.
They could have gremlined it. Like
Sure.
someone splashed some water on
Who
him
fed-
after
who
midnight.
fed- Dude, if feeding them is what gets more of them, we're fucked. Have you seen Mandalorian? What that
After
fucking thing
midnight.
eats?
Yeah, he doesn't eat after midnight, though.
After midnight, I'm gonna eat them frog eggs out.
But that's the end of the episode, the end of the season, maybe the end of the series.
I really
I
hope
hope
it's
not.
I hope not. I think so.
Really?
I do think so.
I do disagree. I think they'll continue because despite the hate and despite the cost, you and I both saw things about how every episode was like higher rated, more viewed than the last.
If there is a sequel to this, a next season to this in the next 3 years, you can pick my Star Wars tattoo.
Oh, well, in the next 3 years, you're
Please
just
make
putting
it-
weird
make
things
it-
on
make
it.
it-
This
make
is
it the
streaming.
pip.
Can I do it?
This is streaming. It's going to be, how long ago was Andor?
3 years?
How long ago was
See?
Obi?
No, Obi's not getting another one.
No, there's no more Obies.
I just know the reason I put that out there because I know that he would just pick Porkins for me to get tattooed on my buttocks.
What the fuck is
Porkins?
Porkins?
Did you
I'll
say, what the fuck is Pork? He's a who, first of all.
I'll
Who
show.
the fuck is Porkins?
I'll show you.
From Dr.
Okay.
Seuss?
We're going to
No,
watch a
from
movie
the
called
original.
We're gonna watch a movie called Death Ring that has William Hootkins in it, and you're gonna know who Porkins is. William Hootkins
This
plays
day's
Porkins.
gonna go down as the fucking day you learned who Porkins was.
No. Do you know what Star Wars tattoo I want you to get?
Porkins.
Pip.
Ugh,
Yep. Pip, please.
God.
If this gets
I
a
don't.
second
I don't pay.
season-
I will pay for
That's
it.
why I
You
didn't
have
make
to
you
get a
guys the
pip.
bet.
I wouldn't do that.
No, my
You
favorite.
get a tattoo. What is it? A rectangle.
You can ask Jack. My
You know what it stands
favorite.
for.
Do you remember what my favorite droid is?
No, you're fondling balls.
No, I'm doing tall.
Oh, is it K2SO?
Yeah.
No.
No,
no,
L-
no. It's
L337.
Phoebe Waller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phoebe
Yeah,
Waller.
yeah.
She was my favorite droid.
Because she's
I don't know.
sassy.
Start a revolution or something.
Do whatever you want.
We started a
so
revolution.
what did you think about that comeback when the guy, the Martian,
Martian Manhunter.
Martian
yep,
Manhunter?
is saying bye to Shrek,
Mhm.
and he goes, "Oh, good luck," and he goes, "Oh wait, what is it that you guys say?"
May the force be with you,
Dude,
you
yeah.
smug
It's
motherfucker.
such a clapback.
I
dude.
loved that.
And
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was
every
good.
Bringing
recovering,
that
every recovering Catholic went like, and also with you,
Yes.
Bro, why is that a thing?
also with
Me
you.
and my sister talk about that. May the force be with you, and also with
It's
you.
called brainwashing.
It's called
But
the
since-
Force is Catholicism.
Yeah.
Since we're at the end, of the series, I figure we do lightsaber ratings now,
Yeah.
like we do on most of our.
You want 3 or 5?
It's out of 5.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna since it's Jack's show, we're gonna let Jack start.
I'm gonna give it 4 on this watch because now I can't wait to go back and watch it
And do the
all
whole
together.
thing. Yes.
There is some very good fighting. There's some intrigue that mostly paid off. There's obviously things we didn't like about the series, which is why it's closer to 3.5. No, we'll keep it at 4 for now.
I mean, there is a Yoda in this, so you can use a saber.
Yeah, give it 3 and a Shoto. But yeah, it was good where I wanted it to be.
Ooh, now we've got quarter ratings.
Ooh.
Because before we had half ratings for Yoda sabers, now we've got quarter ratings.
So yeah, so I want Yoda then. Three normals and a Yoda.
Okay.
All right, pass the digip on the left hand side.
The series as a whole.
As a whole,
Yeah, because you just binged.
but here's
all
the
of it.
thing. I can't give my rating as a Star Wars fan because
No,
I
no,
watch
no.
it as a show.
No, not
but as
as
a
a
show itself,
Yes.
I'd
That's
give it a
it.
4. I'd watch it again.
Okay.
It was very entertaining. When Whitney was like, "Hey, this is what we're watching the last episode. If you want to get caught up, go ahead." I was
Yeah,
like,
the
yeah. I was
weekend.
like, I'll get to it. I'll do it. And then I did the first one. I was like, all right. Second one, third. By the third one, I was like, all right,
You're in.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, good. No, I
I'm
mean
in.
that's one of the things we wanted about people that don't go as far as I do is because we want. How did it treat you as a show?
Right.
Yeah.
And it sounds like good.
Right. It's like
But
if you
see-
ask me about Dune, it's like as a movie, I can't give you that because
See, I'm not the
He
only
got
one.
to binge it. He got
This
to
is a
binge
Star
it,
Wars
though.
podcast, not a fucking Dune podcast.
Dunecast.
what came first.
Oh,
The chicken or the egg? No, it's Dune.
What came first, the saber or the dune?
It's
Husband?
Or the worm.
Dune.
I'm gonna go with 4. I think it was super solid. I think obviously there's points where it lags. Part of that's watching it week to week. So rewatching it
Yeah,
all
big,
at once.
that's a big hamper, I think.
Yeah. So watching it all at once, it might go up. It might go down.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I think 4 is a good one. It's also the highest rated thing we've done so far for us.
I
On
think
this.
it's because it's so new. We're excited.
Well, also we've
Oh, we
done
are
the
an
3
Excite.
prequels and Solo.
Uh-huh.
So
I was gonna do 4 1/4,
4 and a Shoto.
4 and a Shoto. And I think I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that Shoto, and it might actually go higher because my biggest thing was waiting a week for that fucking because you
Drip.
need the breadcrumb
Drip.
drip, but
Drip.
it just
Yeah, it's like you have a leaky sink, but you just don't feel like calling the plumber for 2 months.
I can get drunk enough to sleep through
Who would you
this.
say your favorite character throughout the whole?
Come
Come here.
Come here.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Here's the shit.
I disagree heavily.
Who
Who's
you like?
yours?
Basil.
Basil, yeah.
Basil.
Basil is also
Basil.
great.
Basil's a
He's-
stud and he's a cutie
And he
pie.
doesn't say a single thing. He just goes.
As soon as they release
No, he
merchandise.
speaks Tinian according to the subtitles, which is bark, bark, bark. So,
So Candy speaks Tinian.
yeah.
Is Candy a
Ah.
relative of Basil?
She's cultured.
She's
No,
cultured.
as soon as they have merchandise, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I want a
like
Basil.
Basil. But
I
come
want a
here, dude.
Basil.
You're
I
dope.
love Khmer.
And the
Khmer
helmet.
is
The
fucking
helmet's
cool.
really cool.
The design,
that helmet
his,
is
his
dope as
fighting,
fuck.
the actor tore it up on doing the duality of that.
And just the look
Identity.
with the helmet and the cloak, but
Good
when his,
robes.
when his arms are out,
Yeah, good
with
robes.
like the ripped arms, but like skinny ripped, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Not
we saw
like, he's not the
Cortosis,
Rock.
dude. We saw Cortosis in live action. I saw a lightsaber. My recommendation. My lightsabers are 4 now. We saw a lightsaber crystal bleed.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
I figured Soul was gonna die. If you go back and listen to early episodes, I said he was gonna die. Not like this though.
Not like this.
Not like this.
No, but they did kill every Jedi from the first.
the Bendoc 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every single one.
So
And then
I can't
some.
wait to watch again, dude.
Yeah.
I am
Cool.
very excited. I am an Excite, and I hope we get a second season in the next 3 years.
Porkins.
So tune in next week to Han Took Shots First, where Jack and I finish our discussion with our friend Ryan about Solo, a Star Wars story.
I had a few bourbons.
Yes, there's more slurring and less Ryan in the second half because
well, not because he just didn't get to watch the whole.
Yeah,
movie.
no, it became Jack saying stuff and him going, "That's what happened,"
which is my life.
We got very drunk. It was fun. So tune in next week for that. There's no more Acolyte, so then the next episode will be 2 weeks after that. Don't forget to check out our other show, Bad Movies, Worst People. You can go to badmoviesworstpeople.com or find it anywhere you find podcasts. We have to thank Magilla Gorilla, who is also Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the music for this podcast. We have to thank him for that because he provided that to us at no cost.
And he's just awesome.
He's all right.
And he's an all right dude.
I like him as a person.
Calm down.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I have been Derrick.
I'm Jack.
I'm still Whitney.
And I'm still Hector.
What does that you people say? May the force be with you.
And also with you.
We're back for episode 8. We found a Mexican outside of Home Depot.
We needed a podcaster who went to Home Depot for a day labor.
Star Wars is Arturito. And the guy that looks like Jesus.
We all know a Chewie. All right.
We all know
a Chewie.